everybody.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Archives. My name is Megan.
Hello, everybody.
This is Eric. Hold on. I may not have had us muted on the other channel. I'm so sorry. And we have a very special guest with us tonight, Mars, who plays Talroth on Disasters in Danger. Hello.
What's up?
Hello, Mars. How are you?
Oh, it's been a day, but it's good to be here. I am looking forward to just turning my brain off and just answering things.
Yeah. Oh, God. This is going to be great. We should just start shooting the questions now.
So many questions.
Before we begin, we want to do some love to the piece of art that you saw before we started. It was done by our channel's own Kez. She plays Treasure on Monday nights. She's also, I don't know if she's official or not, but she is the artist in residence for Random Encounter Productions. She's done all of the character art for our Disasters in Danger characters.
She's done the character art repeatedly for Disasters and Dangers.
And she is absolutely amazing. I know Mars is a little biased.
Just a little. And
with very good reason. But yeah, and I know she's not doing commissions now because y'all are moving. But once that's finished and the dust has proverbially and actually settled, I believe she's going to be opening up commissions later in the year. So keep an eye out for that if you need some absolutely quality character commissions. I've commissioned stuff from her for other characters I'm doing or have done in the past, and also some maybe some personal things of Sir Edwin Thosen that are none of y'all's business. But
we're talking later because I need to know what we're talking about.
Oh, I'll show it to you. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
It would make Carlos blush.
No.
Oh, okay.
I sent it to him. It didn't faze him. That's not the point. But like, she's really easy to work with as a commission artist, and her prices are beyond reasonable. So just keep an eye out for that. What else we got?
Well, we have our lovely sponsors, not for this show, but for the main show, and really they're sponsors for the channel, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, that's Norse Foundry. Norse Foundry is a wonderful dice company. They make some fantastic dice sets, like ridiculously quality dice sets. And you can go ahead and head to their website. We actually just linked something in the chat. And head over there, and when you order through our little link, you get 15% off dice, which is fantastic, especially because they have the gem dice. Yeah, that's right. It's the code for 15% off is REP RPG. That's Rep RPG. They have fantastic aluminum dice sets, which are machine crafted aluminum. They have their gemstone dice, which are beautiful. I can never get enough of gemstone dice. Yeah, like
They're so pretty. They're so pretty. And a reminder, you should never buy opals for yourself, but buy them for someone that you love, because that's good luck.
Where did this opals for yourself rule come from? I've only heard about it, but is it like...
I don't know. I know that Marisha Ray bought some, and the opals that she bought for herself rolled like crap, and she was keyless. But if you buy them for someone else, they're good. And I bought myself an opal set last year because I was like, screw it. This is when I had a job before. This is before 2020 actually kicked in. And I was like, I have money. I'm gonna treat myself because opal is my favorite stone. And man, no,
they rolled like shit.
Cody, and they've apparently been rolling very well for him.
So it's sort of like the old tarot card tradition. You can't actually buy your own tarot cards.
Yeah. So
which I didn't know actually. I was actually told that by my fiance that the tradition is you can't buy your own tarot cards. And then I asked her specifically, what if you stole your tarot cards? And she said that's either fantastic or they're cursed. Like, really, those are your two options.
Or a felony.
I mean,
Now, if you're going
at
to
least
take a deck
this
of
isn't
cards out
being
of somewhere,
recorded.
it's like if you're taking a deck of cards that has some magic kind of twirling around them and all, you want to make sure that the people who had them are dead first. Kind of like that tower way back in, like, what was that, episode 2, 3, some single digits. Either way.
Yeah, it was like 3.
That's us here from Rep reminding you, please make sure your wizard is dead before pilfering their body.
And or their chess game.
Yep. I stand by my choices. So yeah, Norse Foundry, absolutely phenomenal. Tomorrow night is Friday night, so we're back with some Diablo, Lord of Terror. We're very excited. We're rounding the home stretch on this new season and finally getting it all done. And we're excited. Saturday, I'm not sure what's going on. Sunday, we're back with Wisser for some Mass Effect Andromeda midnight streaming like she do. Monday, we're back again with Disasters in Danger. Woo!
Yeah!
And then Tuesday is A to Z Monstrosities with Cody. Now, that's a special Patreon-only stream. So if you are a Patreon subscriber, even at the $1 level, which makes it $12 a year, which is really nothing. It helps the channel out a lot. It gets you access to our Discord, to all of our memes, to all of Kez's character art that she's done so far, except spicy stuff, because y'all don't deserve it. And shut up, Mars. And but also gets you access to special Patreon-only shows. We've done some special one-shots that were just for Patreons. There's also some game opportunities that are just for Patreons. It's well worth the money, kids, let me tell you. And A to Z Monstrosities is terrifying. The thing that he made last week, or this week, I guess, what is time? It was like a couple of days ago. He made a Death Tyrant. Oh God, I hope we never meet it.
Of course we won't, because it's not like we'd be stupid enough to know that there was a place that had like a named bad guy and we would just walk in there. We wouldn't do that. We're smarter than that. Right, guys? Right, guys?
So I think that's it for announcements. And that brings us to the meat and potatoes of tonight. So we're going to discuss what happened on Monday. For a quick rundown, Eric, would you like to read Matthew's notes? Because I think they are
Yeah,
lovely.
I love these notes. Some of them just have really nice little indentations in them. We have on the 21st, the month in this game right now it's the month of Mask. And the 21st, we arrived near the Centaur place. We were guided to the central hub of the Centaurs. We arrived on the 22nd of Mask. It's a huge tent city. There is a Oh God, you're gonna make me say it. There is a huge general who is raw. Probably a euphemism. Literally in there. I'm not saying that. That's in the notes. The huge general is named Iyongi, and it is, I believe it's loosely translated to the Thunderer.
Now, is that his name or is that his title?
I think it's title.
Iyongi is the title.
Yeah.
I actually have some notes on Talrod's character sheet, if I can pull it up.
Ooh, please do.
Y'all with your note taking. Psh.
Let's see here. Yes, Iyongi, it means a thunder caller. And that is the title for the leader of the tribe of Thundering Hooves. Currently, Radovan the Younger.
All right, Radovan the Younger. We find out today that Talroth has a brother.
That wasn't common knowledge. What?
I don't I don't think. I mean, I think Talroth knew, but I don't think like it had been mentioned to Sirach or anyone about him having a brother. um,
I have a brother.
your brother. What? When the DM takes your backstory.
No, yeah. From the beginning, Talroth had a brother. So like that was something I had planned from the start. I had let Cody know. It's just that when we were getting more to Talroth's arc, he was asking for some more information about him. So at least gave him the name, general idea of his attitude, at least how. Well, kind of rewinding. When I build characters, if it's like a relation to somebody, so in this case, Talroth's brother, I know what his brother is like, but I gave Cody the information of what Talroth thinks his brother is like. So, how Talroth last knew him, he was a bit of an asshole. But there might be something else behind that that Talroth just doesn't know about. So it looks like Cody is running wild with that.
So, what? I mean, I don't want to go to like. I don't want you to give up the big bad secrets from your backstory if you don't want to. But yeah, I think Monday was a really big day for Talroth's history. So what's the deal with Kaz? Kaz is his brother.
He's also an ass.
Kaz the ass. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Talroth is the good one.
Who could have seen that coming? That
Debatable.
Talroth is the well-behaved of the two.
Well, in terms of characters, the only other people who would know about Cass, Talroth would have mentioned him to Saride once or twice just in passing, but not really gone into detail. Treasure would know a little more because Talroth and Treasure have traveled a lot together, and Olaroon would have, again, just a vague idea and not really going into specifics about him.
And what pray is Kaz's class?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he was all really good at all that magic and stuff, and he knew how to swing a blade around.
Coward.
Yes, he's a blade singer.
Why?
And I am scared now.
I am an asshole.
To yourself.
You and Cole, man. Cole's like, I'll just put a beholder in my backstory. It'll be fine. And then this motherfucker's like, oh, really? Hold my beer.
Here's a bit of a slight secret. Originally, Cass was my backup character in case Talroth died.
So all I had to do was smother Talroth, and we could have saved ourselves a Blade Singer fight.
So you're telling me...
Hard to say.
You're telling me that you originally went ahead and did the most stereotypical D&D shit, which is my character dies, so my brother comes to help?
Well, whether he was going to come to help would have depended on what was going on.
Speaking of, I read this, I forget where I saw this, it might have been a Tumblr, it might have been a TikTok, but it was fantastic, and it was someone's character dies, and he's like, well, I have another character, it's the brother, and someone's like, really? It's your character's brother? And the guy looks and he goes, no, it's your character's brother. And he brings in, like, the other character's brother. Look at me!
How the turntables have turned. So yeah, Kaz apparently made it to the Centaur encampment 5 months before us?
20 years.
Yeah.
20 years? What is time?
Hey, we're elves. I mean, a minute to us
like
is
5 months. Yeah.
But yeah, that stuff.
Long-lived bastards.
Yeah, we are. But yeah, all that stuff, that was a bit of a twist to me. That was stuff that Cody had thrown in there to really get the story going. I'm like, okay. So if my face was just kind of contorting and just kind of trying to go back to neutral, that was legitimate confusion of I need to play with this, I need to roll with it. But
As if you weren't invested enough to begin with. Let's just
Yeah.
throw your brother in there. Now, I have a question for both of you. So on this last level up, Mars, you took a level in Ranger? And Eric, did you multi-class or are you sticking?
No, I stuck with Ranger.
Okay, because aren't you his sort of like Ranger buddy?
At this point, we've done a couple of scenes where he's just like, "So how do you do the shit you do?" And so I've gone ahead and I've explained a couple of things, and so yeah, coming up and learning how to jump through trees and shoot things at people you'd like to shoot. It's been a good time.
yep. And at least for anybody curious, of the level of Ranger that I took was actually the one from the new Tasha's book. So it was the alternate features. So
Mhm.
instead of getting favored enemy, I have favored foe. So pretty
And
much that gives
correct
me
me if I'm wrong, favored foe is kind of like if you took favored enemy and mixed it with hunter's mark, right?
kind of, yeah. The favored foe, it pretty much works like a mini hunter's mark. That's the best way I can describe it. I can only do it a number of times equal to proficiency bonus. When I hit a creature with an attack roll, I can mark the target as a favored foe for 1 minute or until I lose my concentration.
Hmm.
Pretty much just like Hunter's Mark,
Yeah.
just less duration. But it's also 1d4 damage instead of 1d6.
Now hunter's mark allows 1d4 damage for every attack, 1d6 damage for every attack. Does this do every attack, or is it only the first attack?
It's just the first attack.
Okay, so it is kind of, yeah, it is kind of like hunter's mark light. And but you do gain a lot of the advantages that come with favored enemy, though. Or do you not?
Yeah, this actually. Sorry. Yeah, that actually replaced a favorite enemy entirely. So I don't get favorite enemy at all.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't read through the Tasha updates for Ranger.
No, there were some good ones, and when I was looking at it, the more I kept reading them, it they were exactly what I wanted for Talroth. Like the whole idea I had behind him being just the scout, just go ahead, explore, be like kind of the skill monkey.
Yeah.
Because even instead of natural explorer or the favorite terrain bonuses, I
Hmm.
get deft explorer. So that got me 2 new languages and expertise in one skill of my choice.
That's pretty nice.
Yep.
Which
And
so now I got to know, which languages did you take?
well, especially since because of backstory reasons, hanging out with Treasure for so long and her finally teaching me Infernal properly, I just picked that up. And ended up going with Halfling for the other language because, you know what? I was good friends with Quick back in the town. Halflings have good connections. Why not?
And
Oh,
no one
quick.
has Halfling. No one ever speaks Halfling.
Except
I
halflings.
love having Halfling on my characters. It's awesome. Nobody expects it.
I, for the longest time, I always had Orc. I don't know why. I just always had Orc. I think this is the first time. Well, I mean, she has it now because she's learned, but
Never mind.
fuck off.
So, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, cool. So, Ranger buddies.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
I
yeah.
am low key sad that neither of you picked the Ranger that gets a pet.
So,
I haven't picked a conclave yet, so I still have time.
so here's my issue: is that when you go with it's because orcs is the coolest. You're not wrong. Um, the thing about the ranger, the pet like ranger feature, um, is that you either run into a situation where you have like Vex and Trinket, where you get a pet that has reached its like highest like level of attack and damage, but you get attached enough to it, you're like, well, I'm not getting another pet, and then it's just not quite as helpful. So you almost have to treat it like Pokemon, and you have to be like, all right, you go back in the PC now. Let's go. I choose you, Velociraptor. You know,
I'll be honest, that's how Saride sees all of you.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I can understand me. I'm literally a bird, but
and
You don't have the badges to tame treasure.
oh man, that's funny.
I don't know. We're friends. Like, she's really good friends with Treasure. They take baths together. I feel like,
So have Talroth and treasure technically.
yeah, I really wish Saride was even like slightly gay, because honestly, she would have been on Treasure like fucking white on rice, man.
Now you asked us about ours. Treasure is secretly a Charizard. You asked us about our level up. I actually ended up deciding to be that guy, and I took Observant as my feat instead of doing a skill upgrade,
Yes, you did, you son of a bitch.
which gives me the ability to read lips. And what two languages do you speak, Sarad?
Besides Common, she's
Yeah.
got 3 now.
Okay.
Sylvan, Elven, fuck, and Orc.
Sylvan, Elven, and fuck. That sounds about right.
She's a bard. I think that's
not wrong. No, because part of the Observant feat, so I got my passive investigation went up to like 18. My passive perception is now 21, and I can read as long as I can see someone mouthing words and I know the language, I can read their lips.
Do you speak Orc?
I don't speak Orc yet. I mean, I don't speak Orc. No, I do speak Sylvan and Elven, and of course Orin and Common.
I will be honest, a lot of the reason I took Orc, like, well, there's a story reason, because she's dating an Orc, blah, blah. Nah, fuck that noise. I wanted a language that she and Thosen could just talk to each other, and no one else would know what they were saying. Hence, wonderful moments like they have a side bet going on whether or not Talron's brother is dead or not.
Yeah, can I get in on that?
No, she's trying to be supportive, but also yeah. We haven't heard from him in 20 years. Oh, he dead.
Oh, he's super dead.
Miss Keisha, oh, she dead.
Oh shit. Speaking of Talroth's brother, let's go into the next piece of the notes. And Talroth's brother, we learned 2 weeks ago that in order to actually challenge the Iyongi for the sword that Talroth's been looking for, you have to have the smaller sword called the Lesser Wind, because the sword is called the Greater Gale, and then there's the Lesser Wind. And we learned last week that Talroth's brother stole the other half of the weapon. He stole the Lesser Wind and killed the general's nephew who was wielding it. Not the best of introductions.
Just like Talroth having to clean up his brother's mess.
And how did we respond to that, Talroth?
Well, excuse me if the big old raw centaur was literally up in my face, challenging me, and I ain't gonna back down from him. He's a punk. I'm gonna kick his ass.
He's raw. I'm just saying.
He's huge and raw.
Dear God, how in God's green earth did we make it through that game? I do not know.
Oh my God, I'm happy I was watching it. Let me tell you, because I wouldn't have been able to hold that in.
Oh, so imagine me having to have the conversation with my -1 charisma, and Talroth already doesn't speak well, listening to all that and just, I can't laugh. I can't laugh. I can't laugh.
No, but seriously, how did you respond to them telling you to him telling you that that Kaz had killed his nephew, taken the blade. What did you say?
I'll be back later with it.
I'll be back later with it.
And then what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I will drive to where you are. I will cut your hair. You.
Okay, so yeah, he pretty much insulted us. It's like, okay, I recognize Mars recognized a challenge. Talroth, he would have recognized a challenge, but he's a little too proud to back down, especially when his goal was like right there. So okay, may as well not let this guy think I'm a little punk ass bitch. Respond in the same way. So he knows I'm a little more serious, and he might be a little more welcoming when I show back up.
Because you threatened him. Because he threatened to kill him. He said when he came back with the sword, he would kill him with it. Because that's what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, is it okay, but for is it a threat if like that's the way that group goes around? Because we know that like that's the only way you get the sword is you have to challenge him with the lesser win. So like, is it really a threat if you're just like I'm respecting your cultures and traditions? I mean, that sounds damn near diplomatic if you ask me.
He would be on his side. My God.
You think she's buying this one?
I don't know. Maybe. Get her something to drink. I don't know.
So we also found out that Taros' brother went south to the Broken City, but was chased off into the mountains to the west.
Yes. And that he went to the 8 tiers?
Yeah, we also found out that, where was this? Taros' brother would have went to the 8 tiers of Shayla Wren in order to get a guide. And that would have been the guide that brought him here, right? That's what they were saying?
No,
the guide would have gotten him away from everything, but that was like after everything happened 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it would have been a long shot to try finding the same guide.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or any information.
Yeah, and in order to get a guide, and might have hit up the Warden's Tower as well, since it's the last site of civilization before you go over the mountains. But we're not sure.
So I think at the moment we are headed towards the Warden Tower, yes?
Yes, I believe so.
Because it is on the way to the Forge, so we're getting back to what we were hired to do.
Which, I'll be honest, is a really novel idea for us. I'm proud of us, really. I'm really proud of us.
So is it still something? Is it still something we were technically hired to do? Because I know we were like we want to be part of this caravan, but like we had to buy all our own stuff and buy all of our own rations and equipment and everything.
We've all worked for those shitty companies that make you buy your own polo.
Okay, you're not wrong.
That's all.
All right. So we left and we traveled for 6 days, smooth travel. Thank you for the good rolls. And then on the 28th day of Mask, on the horizon, we see a massive bird. Massive bird.
Oh, right. And that's Matthew's fault.
That is 1,000.5% Matthew's fault, and I will take that to the grave. That is Matthew's fault.
That's going to be on my tombstone. This is Matthew's fault.
I don't doubt it.
So, yeah, we're pretty sure we've got a rock fight coming up on Monday. Or I don't know, Sirach, maybe you could try to talk him down.
I don't think rocks are intelligent. Are they?
I mean, if it's a female rock, maybe you could try that mating dance you showed Olarun.
Okay, first of all.
Oh my God, please. Maybe Olarun do like a Madoff.
Is this gonna be this Sirach's moment of I seduced the dragon? Is that what we have happening?
Get to it, donkey.
Do it. Do it, you
Just
coward.
get right up in its face and
Because rocks aren't animals, they're monsters, right?
yeah, I believe they are monstrosities.
Kez approves, so I think we're good.
Kez
For this.
approves because she thinks it'll make good art when I die. That's not a reason to believe that.
How dare you? She doesn't want to redo any of her art. She just got finished with you.
Okay.
You should have heard her when we were doing the stealthing in arc, like climbing up the mountain, and hearing that Stitch got scarred, Talroth got scarred. I just heard the fuck.
Yeah, rocks are gargantuan monstrosities.
So do you have their stats up? What's their intelligence?
A -4. It's 3 for a -4 intelligence modifier.
Okay.
So I don't think
I think
my
it's 3 you can talk, but I don't know that they have a language.
yeah, I don't think they're going to give in to my wiles.
Hey, you don't need smarts to find someone attractive. Gentlemen. Ooh, what's that?
Ow! But also truth. But that is the end of our notes. So Tara, I gotta ask you something, Mars, because there's something that's been getting me, and I'm not quite sure how to look at it, and I just don't know if the timing matches up weird. It's the thing I was talking about last week. Like the centaurs have this whole thing about like the blades and their stories and the progressions, and what I'm like wondering is what if, because I like moral quandaries, what if these blades originally belonged to the centaurs? And then your family got them, and then the centaurs got them back. And I'm wondering if the time frame, or I'm just misinterpreting that time frame.
Well, at least with the backstory that's set up with Talroth,
Mm-hmm.
when the blade was broken, Talroth would have been about 10, so he would have been a kid, way too young to have even held the blades. So he would have been told the stories about them, probably forgot most of them at this point. But at least 120 years ago, the blade was whole and in his family's possession. The fight happened, the blades broke. Now to Talroth, only one of the blades got stolen, which that's something that he now has to kind of be like, has my family been lying to me?
Oh, because they still had half of the sword, or so they thought.
Exactly. So I know that's going to be something else that Talroth's going to be trying to figure out.
Interesting.
It's been really nice getting to see this side of Talroth, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very different side of Talroth that we've ever seen. He's usually
Talroth.
and yeah, seeing him a little. Not that either myself or Sarai delights in other people's misfortunes, but seeing him not so sure and
Well, pretty much
a little more serious is nice.
Yeah, because the whole thing, he would have been pretty much. It would have been his brother being groomed and trained to go find the missing blade and return it and restore the family's honor and pride and blah blah blah. But with Cass being the golden child, Talroth was kind of pushed down to like second place, and just yeah, we'll do something with you later. Don't worry. Cass goes missing, or nobody hears from him, and now it's like, okay, I guess we have to rely on Talroth now. So especially when it comes to his family, there's a lot of stuff where he's just
The old heir and the spare.
Yep. But by the time the village decided, okay, we need Talroth's help, they kind of burned some of their bridges. Yeah. So a lot of him going after the blade now, it's not to restore his family's pride, it's to prove that he is better than what they think he is. So still
Okay.
pride, but not in the pride that the village is expecting.
We're such a weird little group of broken people.
I mean, isn't that all D&D groups though? Like at a certain point.
Yeah.
I've actually wanted to play just a regular Joe Schmo that everything's perfectly fine, and someone's like, "Hey, you want to go kill a dragon?" He's like, "Sure, I've never done that before. Let me just leave my family and go."
That was the thing. Like Liam O'Brien was saying, it's impossible to have. Well, and granted, he is edgelord extraordinaire, but it's impossible to have a D&D character that's happy with their life because you ask them to do these god awful horrific things. Like adventuring is fun, but yeah, the actuality of go fight a dragon. No one does that if they're happy at home. If you have the mortgage paid off and you have the kids and the, you know, two car garage or whatever the hell your definition of happiness is. No one goes seeking adventure if you're content.
Oh my god.
Look, the mortgage is at least 2,000 gold a month, not including the utilities. Do you know how much a dragon horde would set me up for months?
Girl,
And especially with how often the kids eat.
if a
Three meals a day for the kids. 3!
If a dragon randomly showed up in Florida, there would be just a horde of us trying to kill it and get that money. I'm just telling you.
No self-respecting dragon would show up in Florida. It's heard stories of Florida man.
I'm now imagining a great D&D character who's like 55 to 60, like age-wise, and just like wife, house, everything's paid off. Kids are grown, they're off to, fantasy college. Like all these different things. And the guy just goes through a goddamn midlife crisis and he picks up like a suit of armor and he's just like in the tavern in a full-on suit of armor that doesn't fit and he's just like yeah yeah, and like there's this young group of adventurers getting ready to go out, and they're like they're all level 3 sort of adventure. They're ready to start their and they have their and he's just like, yeah. Did you need a cell sword? I am happy to commit my time and effort into such a into such a position and like just goes out with him because he's having like a goddamn midlife crisis.
His wife follows behind him, just like, seriously, Jerry, just fuck the maid. I don't care. That'd be so much safer. Oh my god, get the new carriage. Get the new carriage with removable top, the one that has like 16 horses and goes way too fast. What the fuck are you doing, Jerry?
I'll be back, my love, and then just like goes off on an adventure.
Jerry, I will call your mother. I swear to God, I will call your mother.
A tragic story. What happened to her? She's in New Jersey, Jerry. It's not tragic. It's just a little farther away than you'd like.
I mean, Jersey is kind of tragic, but yeah.
Well, oh, sorry. I went deep into finding my new character. That's amazing. Okay, writing that down for next time.
We saw a birth right now. This was magical.
Remember, guys, in another 2-3 years, when this game has ended, and we're starting our new campaign, and you see Jerry, you'll know where he started, and it's right here.
Also, I got a time hop thing on my Facebook today, and it was my original character art for Saride. A year ago today, I posted my first Saride pictures. So we're getting real close to the 1-year anniversary of Disaster starting, because I think we started in February.
I think you're right. Yeah, that's going to be so good.
A year, my guys. It's been a year, and it's almost been a year in game. I'm kind of excited that we're doing that we're in Mask right now. Because that means like in a day or two we get the Ghost Walk.
That's right. That's right. That's gonna be fun.
And like I don't know, like we haven't lost anybody in game yet, not for lack of trying, but it'd be interesting to see who's in there and stuff. Also, just Halloween is fun. all the time.
Spooky is always
Fight me.
good. Spooky is always good.
But it has been a year. And what a year it's been. I'm really excited about this.
I mean, I would venture to say our characters have in game had a better year than we've had out of game. So, and that includes Velxer and finding the awful, and I'm still shook by
I
that.
don't know why everybody was so upset with him. Talroth thought he was a very fine, upstanding, and professional gentleman.
You would. You absolutely would.
I'm mad at myself for Cody saying it 1,700 times.
With reckless abandon.
What? Reckless abandon. And not once did I ever hear, oh yeah, the awful.
Yeah.
And go, oh yeah. Even though he's also said with reckless abandon, remember, definite articles mean something in this world. Nope. My dumb pea brain's like, I don't know, Awful the Awful. That's an adorable nickname. Blah, blah.
Wait, so did I accidentally do something by going cast the ass?
God, I hope not.
Well, he does have the lesser wind.
Oh, excuse me. God, now I need to get
I am going to purposely invest in a pair of plate boots just to kick Cass multiple times with that one shoe.
Gosh, now I need to get like a freaking like soundboard and just have like little little. It's Cass.
So no, I don't think. Because I don't think Cody would do that.
No, I think Cody would be very unhappy. But I mean, like here in our show where we can make the rules.
He's just an ass with legs, with little naked legs walking around.
It is 100. It's Assy McGee, the old cartoon, old like Adult Swim show.
But he has elf ears.
Well, of course, it would be weird if he didn't. He's Talroth's brother.
Sorry, that's delightful. Kez, I kind of want art of that. But also, you're busy, so we could talk about it later. So that's what happened in game.
Oh my god, I'm looking up pictures of Assy McGee right now, and I'm not upset.
I know Kez is busy. Mars, how are you feeling about where Talroth's arc is going as of right now?
Honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect off the bat, because yeah, I'd given Cody like the rough idea of this is his motivation, and anything that came up, it pretty much would be. I was kind of looking at it as, okay, how would Talroth react to all this? And yeah, we saw with the news he received, he didn't react very well to it. So it's like, okay, it's like, yeah, I kind of felt Talroth getting upset on that one. Cool.
He reacted way better than I thought he was going to.
Well, he's been in worse bar fights.
Yeah. I think he handled it very... Listen, I don't want to say this, and it's going out on a limb. He was very healthy about his response.
Yeah, I mean, I know, yeah, Talroth might not be the brightest crayon in the box, but he's not an absolute dumbass either. It's like, he'll have his moments, sure, but he at least understands when he's out of his league, and that was one of those moments where he's just, I need to be very careful what I say, because that's a lot of hooves.
See, that's the thing that I think Sarai dislikes the most about him, and believe me, there's a list, and she's written it down and catalogs it, is that he is one of the bright crayons. He's remarkably intelligent, and he's very fucking talented and good at what he does. And she thinks he keeps selling himself short. And he keeps fucking with other people's stuff. Like, again, there's a list. We're not going to go into it right now. But, like...
Well, to be fair, I can count on one hand how many times I have messed with other people's property.
He has been remarkably good about it.
He's still a bright crayon. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, he is. He is. He acts the fool because it's easier that way.
He reminds her a lot of her dad, which is like a really high compliment.
Just gonna read
Goes and
into
reminds
that
her of
real
her
quick.
mom.
So does Soraya need to talk to somebody to kind of get all this out? Maybe just lay down on the couch and just somebody take notes?
You know, I think it all started back when he first got poisoned and I accidentally lent him my handkerchief. It's just, I don't know, I felt responsible for him. It's weird. It's really weird.
You know, actually, I rolled to see if Talroth would figure it out. He didn't figure out the handkerchief was Sarai's for months.
I love that. I absolutely. Where the fuck else would he have gotten that stupid handkerchief? Did he just think it was his? You're like, oh, I guess I have a handkerchief.
I
Good
must have
job,
stole
me.
this from somebody.
Oh, with some of the places he's woken up with after drinking at bars. I mean,
Yeah, as I was saying it, I realized, yep, that's exactly.
That's it. That is entirely what he might think.
Well, that's great. Sorry, but yes. So he's I just again I think Talroth had a really interesting arc episode.
yeah, and it was definitely good. It's like I really enjoyed kind of letting Talroth just take the reins and just let me see how he'd react. Because one thing that I really enjoy doing with pretty much any character I do, and even with Mac back in the first campaign, there was always like that little bit of myself. It's like I know we all put ourselves into our characters, but this was kind of how I want to say how Taliesin approached his characters, where it's like that one aspect of himself that he just kind of focuses on and just runs with it. So Mac was pretty much the kind of like sit back and observe, but just don't put him in a corner and just don't kind of discount him or anything. With Talroth, a lot of it is it's like that whole I am not second place mentality, and just where that goes with him.
And there's something to be said about this is a warning for all you kids and you want to be actors out there about don't make your character therapy, which I know is not what you're doing. But I think there is something to be said about it's easier to make it relatable for you as a player and for, I mean, now that we have an audience, for the audience, if you have pieces that you can connect to personally.
Yeah, and that pretty much nails it on the head. It's not like I'm using Talroth because I wasn't hugged as a child. It's like nothing like that. But
Right.
yeah, just thinking about it, I was like, okay, well, yeah, I was picked on a lot when I was younger. It's like I was always like the last one picked for sports and stuff and blah blah blah. It's like other people were always like held above me. So it's like, okay. But that's when I was a kid. That's when I was younger. It's like I've gotten well past all that now. So I figured, okay, Talroth's gonna be a bit of a little shit. Let me tie some of that into the backstory and see how he would handle it.
Sure. How often when you guys are playing do you find those moments of the character discovering something or sort of taking over that that surprises you?
I tend to have that happen quite a bit because I tend to slightly overanalyze my characters like personality wise, and so I put a lot of like ideas of how I'd like them to react in situations, and then when we get into situations to see how, like, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, Sirach is a bit of a scaredy cat. He probably is going to be in the back. And then to see a situation where Sarai is, being chomped by a T-Rex and him going and me going like, well, he doesn't want to. No, he's going to get close. And like, cause it's like that thing. Like in my head, I'm like, he'd be way too scared for that sort of a thing. But in that moment, to look and be like, no, he's got to go. Like, of course he would go. Like with everything that's happened, of course he would go. And so like that was a recent moment, but I find that happens quite a bit with characterization.
Yeah, because even the talk with the Ayongi, my original thought going in, just thinking as Talroth, I just want to confirm. I just want to make sure that's the real one, and then I'll figure out what to do later. I just want to see, is this what I'm looking for? And then he started talking and being condescending. It's like he insulted the double bladed that Talroth had, and then just snapping back. It's like, no, this might be a copy, but it's a well-made copy by that big old beefling back there. So Talroth just snapping back like that, I'm like, okay, he's getting upset. Let me roll with this. Let me see where this goes.
Yeah, the Ayongi was not what I was anticipating.
I mean, I was expecting, say, because when Cody was talking about centaurs and tribal leaders, it's like Mars in my head. I'm like, okay, this is going to be like a show of strength. So I was already thinking kind of like Conan the Barbarian style. But then that thing
Same.
shows up. I'm like, uh-oh.
Or I think I was thinking like M'Baku from Black Panther. Yes, something very similar.
Yeah.
But this guy was, oof, he was a little sassy.
Not to mention
yeah.
huge and raw.
And raw. Jesus Christ. But yeah, he was not what I was anticipating at all. And the encounter became very different from what I was thinking was. I really thought we were going to be fighting, or at least you would be dueling, or something.
My original plan was just to confirm the blade was there, and then later on try to sneak back in to steal it. But all of that got shot out the window the moment he started mentioning a blonde-haired elf, and I'm just, because at that moment I'm screwed. I will not be able to get in here.
Fucking Kaz.
Cast the ass.
Yeah,
What
I
a
think
dick.
what a dick. Well, and the thing is, we're gonna find him, right? And I guarantee you, Cody will find a way to make that little jerk off sympathetic. Because all I want to do is take him out in the field and have us all curb stomp him like he's the fax machine
in Office Space.
Well, depending on how much of the notes I sent Cody, they're, you know what? I won't say anything.
What did you do to us now?
Don't worry about it.
Don't you tell me not to worry about how OP did you make this motherfucker?
Goddamn, already gave us a blade singer
I did
fight.
not give him a level. I did not give him stats. I just said he's a blade singer.
And
a friend.
And what? And what?
He might have friends.
He has friends.
yeah, one of them's named Star Song, the other one's named
I
Auto Weird Bottle.
fucking
No, I don't want to go too far into it because I don't know if Cody is going to go that route or not. But
Could you
Did you seriously make him friends with Starsong?
no, not Star
Oh
Song.
my god.
Well,
In my backstory,
you did.
what I
was
sent
the-
Cody, not Star Song.
you didn't make him friends with Star Song. Cody, on the other hand.
Oh god. What if he's fucking Volton?
Oh no.
If his brother is Volton, I'm sorry, Talroth, but I'm gonna have to kill him
You're gonna have to get in line.
and wear his skin like Buffalo Bill, because that's just gonna happen. Yes.
We're all wonderful people.
Well, let me just go ahead and scratch Cass off my backup character list.
He's not making it. Oh my
Nope.
gosh.
We handle things very well here in a healthy, progressive manner. What are you talking about?
That sometimes looks like murder.
Maybe.
I mean, it just says looks like murder. Doesn't necessarily mean it is murder.
If it looks like murder and quacks like a duck, it's orange chicken. So
And now I'm
it-
hungry. Thanks.
I know. Do you guys have anything else?
I think that's reasonable a good place to head off for today. Do you have anything, Tara? I just want to, because I'm in the goddamn squares. I just want to call all of you by your names because I'm just like, we're playing a game.
Oh, and I didn't change my nickname either. So
No, neither did I. Mars, do you have any parting words you might like to say to our wonderful viewer?
Well, kind of a question for you guys then. How much stuff do you think Talroth has actually stolen?
Okay, so there's the lockpicks off of Stitch,
Borrowed for about 5 minutes and put back right after.
stolen. There's the he took
Underwear.
underwear and put them in Wyatt's bed.
I never kept them. I only just moved from one location to another.
Stolen. Did he steal something from? Oh my god, I can never remember her name. Halfling Morticia, the necromancy teacher.
You mean when she was about to round the corner into the sewers and we were waiting in a trap and I just took the wand out of her hand so she wouldn't blast us with it and then gave it back right after?
Stolen.
Stolen. You mean bird inverter. Oh my god, that lady.
I'm so glad we didn't kill her. But seriously, what is her name?
I don't remember.
Oh, fuck.
The one who
Okay.
inverts birds.
Fine. Maybe he hasn't stolen thing. But he stole the underwear. Just because he doesn't keep the stuff doesn't mean he didn't steal it. Congratulations. The only thing he's stolen is an undergrad's underwear.
Correction, I've only ever stolen one gold coin that I actually kept.
Oh, and you know what? Fuck you. You know what else you stole? You took my fucking wand out of my hair while I was standing there in front of my giant boyfriend. What the hell is wrong with you?
You called my skills into question.
No, I didn't call your skills into question. I called your morals into question. I was fully aware that you could go in there and get the sword. My point was, how do we know he's not just gonna take Dawnbringer and then sneak away and we never see Talroth again and he becomes Talroth the Awful. Talrothal the Awful.
Talawful the awful.
Well, once we started finding more about that sword, she wouldn't even talk to me.
Girl, okay, so now talking in Orcish. How long are we betting until we all just kill Dawnbringer?
Like, I swear, I held on to that sword for about, like, an hour when we were escaping, and I I don't like her. I can't stand her.
I don't think Talroth ever got to hold the sword. Not even once.
I didn't, but it threw a temper tantrum and almost killed her in the middle of lunch. Olaroon, get your bitch in order.
Oh my god. I think she's going to be a little bit more trouble than she's worth.
Yeah, most sentient weapons are.
I think most patrons end up being that way.
Well, she's not a patron anymore.
I mean,
she's very high
though?
Maintenance.
Isn't she though?
And I thought it was me, but girl, no, she got me. Well, you know, she is Dame Helen Mirren. she better be.
Yeah, you gotta take care of Dame Helen Mirren.
You got to, God. Yeah, I don't know. I realize we were about to wrap up, but Mars, you've DM'd a bunch. Is there a way to make sentient weapons or warlock patrons palatable? I think it's the patron thing mainly. Like, there's always, well, even if you pick Archfey, because you think that one's nice, right? You're still giving away a shit ton of your soul for very limited, very specific power, and they have full control over you. And they never think that's going to come back to bite them in the ass. Like, warlocks are such weird characters.
I mean, at least with my experience with warlocks, it really does depend on the player. Because right now in the Pirates game that I run on Saturday nights for some friends, one of my characters took a couple levels in Warlock, specifically with the Raven Queen. So a lot of backstory stuff just kind of led him to that. And so far it's been working. But with the way that I've been playing like some of the gods in there, some of them are a little more pulled back. Others are a little more, hey, we are literally trapped on this plane. We need you guys to fix it. The Raven Queen is one of the few that's kind of in the middle, but the way I'm playing her, she's all about that freedom of choice, where that's a lot of the theme of the game, because especially pirates, like, you have your freedom, do what you want. So she's not exerting a lot of control. She still basically has full claim on his soul when he dies. Like, he's given that up entirely. But she's not forcing him to do things against his will. And at least that's the way I kind of tend to play it. But that's how the player, like the player himself, has kind of ran with it. If it was another character that was in the game that decided to take the Warlock Pact, oh, believe me, his patron would be like, hey, it's been 10 minutes. You haven't talked to me.
Something that was brought up in chat, which is very good to wonder about. So, Fable's got an egg.
It will be delicious.
I forgot about that.
I had forgotten about that.
I blocked it out, honestly. It's just one of those, I'm waiting until this bites us in the ass and we will deal with it. That's a later Sarai problem.
This is either going to bite us in the ass, or it is going to end up being treasure with the weasel. Treasure. Why did I say
Jester.
Jester?
Jester with the
Jester
weasel.
with the
Maybe
weasel.
Sprinkle.
With Sprinkle. It's gonna end up being that way. Just like every moment. Of course I've been feeding it. Yeah, no, it's just hanging out with me. Like, it's...
Here's my prediction.
That weasel is already dead? Yes, I thought about that too.
Oh my god. My prediction is that it's going to end up being like a chow. It will imprint on Fable and will defend her. Paris!
Welcome,
hey,
Paris.
Buddy. Will defend her and love her and try to kill the rest of us if we so much as look in her direction.
And also another question from chat is, speaking of Fable, how does Talroth feel about the characters around him?
Quick reminder, you agreed to come onto this, so please continue.
First off, thank you, honey.
I second that. Thank you, Kez.
Thank you, Kez. That's a really good question.
Okay, so where to start?
Let's start with Fable, since she was the first one that was brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fable does remind Talroth a little bit. One second, coughing. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Fable does remind Talroth a little bit of one of his younger siblings that's back in the village. Like, kind of like similar personality. It's like, so there's kind of that familiarity there for him.
He has more siblings? I thought it was just him and Kaz.
We're wood elves, Meg.
So I'm the only one I have. It's just me. But you know, when you get it right the first time.
Well, putting it that way, my family never got Talroth's family never got it right.
Oh God.
19. I'm gonna say you have 19 siblings.
Hey, I don't know the exact number. I just know there's older brother, me, and a younger sibling.
I mean, you don't know. You know what? Never mind. We're getting off topic. We're gonna come.
I've been going from the village for a while.
What? What? Are
Yeah.
you the village? Is
No,
the
it's-
village
it's-
just like your compound?
Its parents don't have TV, so they got to find other way to pass the time. That's how I have so many siblings.
So how do you feel about Fable?
No, it's like she does remind him a lot of, well, I guess to generalize it, some of the younger elf children back where he came from. Just that kind of young, slightly naive, but adventurous, stuff like that. Let's see. Well, since you're right there, Sirach, you are you aren't kind of an interesting little oddball to Talroth. I mean, definitely knows his way around the woods, definitely knows his way around scouting, and Talroth is willing to learn a few things. The dancing skills, that's a bit questionable.
You'll get there.
Let's see. Treasure, probably say, yeah, for Talroth, that's his best friend, that's his drinking partner. I mean, they've been through a shit ton together, and he still has a tab of what she owes him.
And now
that's
you
when
find
the
out.
kid-
And now you find out she's rich.
And she could have paid for her drinks the entire time, but no.
And that's why you never befriend anyone from Connecticut, friends. They'll do that shit to you.
Looking at you, John.
Yeah, with Olaroon, there definitely was that bit of a kinship there, just because both characters had some. They're not like the worst family issues ever, but we each had family issues. We were each kind of sent out for similar things. So it's like, okay, I can kind of relate to him. I help him out. Maybe he helps me out. So it's like, it's kind of helping each other grow.
And I know he feels very similarly. That's nice. Friends are fun.
Yep.
Also, as was just pointed out, they are both seeking magic weapons. Also, both swords.
Well, I didn't know that the one from my family was magical.
Oh, really? You just thought it was?
Like I said, when I wrote the backstory, I wrote it from Talroth's point of view. He doesn't know what the sword can do.
Interesting.
So everything with the sword is a surprise to him right now.
I'll be honest. The more I'm learning about Talroth, the more I want to like kill his family. I'm just becoming more and more irritated with these people. It's like if we ever meet Olaroon's dad, oh man, we're gonna kill that guy with impunity. I'm just saying.
Let's see. With Saride, she definitely confuses Talroth. Because it's like, okay, it's another elf. Okay, a different breed of elf. Okay, but and even just like the side chats they've had, he's not sure where he sits. So it's like, I don't know.
He confuses her too. She wants him to be better, and he can be better, but he keeps not being better.
It's like the child you take, like who's getting like decent, like okay grades in class, but you know they're smart, and you're like, "Hey, Johnny, can you stay after class for a moment?" And you're just like, "Is everything okay? Because I feel like you can, I feel like you can apply yourself and do so much. You could do so much good. You could do so much better." And he's just like, "Yeah, I guess you're right, but I'm also not gonna." And you're
And
just
then
like,
he just like gives you the finger and wheelies away.
yeah, on his heelys, yeah.
Oh, yeah, or whatever the fuck they're called. I'm too old. Those little scooter shoes. I don't know what the
I'm
fuck.
old, Yusuke. You know?
I am Jerry.
Come
Um,
back, Jerry.
Oh God.
It's not worth it.
Oh, Thozen. That's an interesting one for Talroth because, damn, he big. I mean, I know, especially since Carlos was having just some issue like computer issues and stuff before. We didn't really get a chance to do much interaction with him, but yeah, Thozen definitely has Talroth's attention because it's kind of
Sarides too.
his well, yeah.
That's what I've called it. My attention.
Your attention.
You
so
had
we're-
my curiosity. Now you
now
have
you have my attention.
So you learned orc by injection. Got it.
You couldn't even go with osmosis. Jeez, you had to go with injection. Ah.
I
But yeah,
hate you both
Thozen
so
is definitely somebody that Talroth would want to kind of talk to more, just to kind of understand him more. Actually, even going on that note of, because I know with scheduling and stuff, where Talroth and Clever Stitch haven't played that often on the same screen, so there's not much that he would say about Stitch. Again, interesting, at least interesting idea, same as Sirach, where it's like, oh, you're a cat, cool. But again, he doesn't really know him too well.
All right, so we've got the list.
I think that's an interesting interesting stepping off point. Mars, thanks for coming, and thanks for being subject to our. Oh, I'm so sorry. Mars, what is Talroth's feelings on Screebers?
You have got to be damn kidding me. That little son bitch keeps burning all the damn meat every single time. He keeps doing it well done, and I keep telling you it is inedible when it's well done. Medium rare is the best. I mean, damn it, Screebers.
Oh my god, he would be.
Where the hell did he run off to now? Oh shit, what we fighting?
He would be the fucking. It has to be medium well kind, or else it's garbage.
Oh, medium rare. Medium rare.
Sorry, medium. Oh my god, fuck yeah. If we were a restaurant, Talroth would be the chef. I can see him with like, but like one of those. No offense, like one of those jackass young chefs with like a bandana and armbands.
Just like Salt Baying it up, like he's got the like round sunglasses that do
Yeah.
nothing in a kitchen, but he's wearing them because it thinks it looks cool.
And he's like, "Fuck off! They'll eat food the way I make it. And we don't do substitutes. They don't send it back." No.
Like he brings out one meal to the table and they're just like, oh, thank you so much. Could I get a bottle of ketchup? And he just like flips the table, smacks the steak out of their
out.
fork.
While dressed like this.
Oh, so good. It's
Such a
so
fucking
good.
picture. So this art is up on our Discord. It's also on our Instagram, Facebook, I believe Twitter. It's on ours. It's also on Kez's. Everyone that she's done so far is there.
Phenomenal every time.
Please take a look at them. They look great. It's our 1 year level up, sort of. So everyone's gotten some new gear, and we look pretty damn sharp.
You got a fierce Sirach, which I love.
I know, our little burb.
Yeah.
And Thozen's wearing a shirt, so you know.
Yeah.
2 steps forward, 2 steps back, but that's okay. That's not Kez's fault. That's Carlos, and I will be speaking to management later. But thank you, Mars. Eric, as always, it's a pleasure.
Every time.
And thank you guys for coming, for watching, for staying, for asking such good and honestly incendiary questions. God bless. We will see you guys on Monday for more Disasters in Danger, Friday for Diablo up next. But until I think we're good for the evening.
I think so. And of course, be sure to come back next Thursday where we will talk about what happened on Monday, and we will either ask ourselves or ask some lovely folks who we have come on some interesting questions. All right, and
Come back for Rock Talk.
come back for Rock Talk. All right.
Let's see who's alive.
It won't be me. God, God, I got hit so hard by that T-Rex. All right, guys, see you later, and it was fun having you here. Bye.